My name is Narineh. I'm 18 years old and I go to OCC.
She's my angel.
I don't think I could have handled it half as well as she did. So
I was 13 years old. I had just graduated 8th grade. I think it was July.
we were hanging out one night. It was me, Narineh, and our cousin Viken, and they were starting to make a joke about something in Narineh's neck, and they were calling it a chicken bone.
We were just joking about it. He's like, "What'd you do? Swallow a chicken wing bone or a bouncy ball?" And like we would laugh about it for a good week.
The doctor looked at it, made an x-ray, and came back the same night, and he said, I really recommend she sees a specialist.
I didn't really think of anything of it. I've never known anything about cancer or what lymph nodes are or anything.
So they called me a few days later. It was the longest few days later. They called me to say the results are out, and bring Narineh to the office, and any other close relatives that you're comfortable and you want them to be there.
That day we were there for about 5 hours. I saw like 3 different doctors. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't think it was serious at all.
So we went to the doctor's office, and remember sitting in the room. She sat right across from Narineh, and she told her that she is a very sick person, and but she is gonna be all right. She has the Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's a common disease that comes in a lot of young children.
That first week before I started chemo was weird because there was a lot of my family members here, and they were just bringing me food and presents, and I was just like, don't treat me like I'm dead already. Like,
she was like, look at me, I look fine, you know, like I feel okay. I don't feel any different than I did yesterday. I know that I have it, but I don't feel like I do.
Her diagnosis was Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 4, which is the highest stage, I guess, that we learned at the time that it's...
I was at the hospital in chemotherapy. Within a week, they started on me completely.
She had it every 3 weeks for at least a week. She was in the hospital every 3 weeks. That went on for a little over a year.
And like would ask me, does she talk about it? Just between you and her? And I go, no. So is she scared? I go, no. She doesn't show any signs of that. She's the one actually giving me the strength to move on, and this is something that we have to do and get it over with. And it's
like, at one point my cousin was yelling at me saying, why aren't you taking this seriously? Like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you why isn't this affecting you? I'm like, nothing. I don't feel like anything's wrong with me.
The second time she really cried is when she lost her hair. She kept on combing her hair each time, and a lot of hair would come in her hand.
That was the worst moment out of all of that. I looked in the mirror and I was completely bald, and I couldn't even believe it. My eyebrows were half gone, my eyelashes were completely gone.
And after she was done with chemo, she also needed radiation. So that sucked, because if it's not bad enough, you won't need that part of it. But she did. She needed radiation too.
So they made arrangements for us in LA, gave us an apartment to stay there because of the distance, and she, for 15-20 days, I believe, she had daily treatments for about half an hour.
There was definitely some times that she was down, but for the most part, I mean, she was hilarious. Like, she was always trying to make herself laugh about it and us.
And they actually gave me tattoos so they can know where to point the radiation. So I have 3 dots going down my front, and then I have 2 on my arms and 2 on my sides. And I always tell people I have 8 tattoos. They believe me, but I don't show them because they're just dots, but I think it's pretty badass. There was this little bag. It was so stupid. I had to carry it around everywhere with me, and I felt really old, and I just felt lame. And I would call it Carlos because of the movie and The Hangover. It was kind of like a satchel. That movie was like my life. I watch it like almost every day. And
I think that movie and Ellen DeGeneres were 2 single-handedly the main things that cured her, honestly, and like kept her positive throughout all of it.
Now I'm a little more than 3 years in remission, and everyone when I tell anyone, they seem so proud of me. But I mean, it's not, I say that it wasn't me. I mean, it was the chemotherapy and the radiation. I didn't do anything, but they tell me that positivity is the best medicine.
That's not in a story.